Welcome to Singtel Cloud is Now. My name is Abby and I'm your host for today. Thank you for joining us in this session. Cloud is Now is Singtel's free virtual event series that brings cloud experts and business leaders together to share real-world examples of innovative initiatives and also discuss how they have successfully tackled some of the biggest challenges and opportunities that small businesses encounter. In today's session, our experts will be sharing on how you and your business can optimize costs by migrating to the cloud. Leroy and Peter, please.
Welcome to today's webinar on saving money through public cloud. I'm Leroy Lim, a cloud solutions architect in Singtel. Together with Peter, we will be sharing how you can bring cost savings by moving to the cloud. Peter founded the Goldiserv, which helps organizations maximize public cloud value and efficiency through analysis, hands-on implementation, training, and advisory services. He has worked with over 300 organizations across public sectors, startups, and large enterprises by helping them achieve their saving targets, establish new processes to spend to cloud budget and forecast. Peter has also built C-level confidence that generate cloud value for their organization. Prior to founding Goldiserv and his 4 years at AWS, he was a management consultant that is focused on business process improvements, analytics, visualization, and computer simulation, such as digital twin. Please note that you will receive a copy of the presentation and there will be time for discussion and Q&A at the end of this presentation. Over to you, Peter.
Thanks, Leroy. In covering saving money through public cloud, I'll be talking to 4 main areas. First, do cost savings justify moving to the cloud? Second, how do you run cloud in an efficient way? Third, we'll cover how to spend to cloud budget. And finally, I'll pass back to Leroy to talk to why Synctel Cloud. We expect this session to provide you with the information necessary to make your cloud migration decision. To understand if you're likely to save money by moving to the cloud, I'll share an example from a similar industry, electricity. In the early days of electricity, businesses used their own generators for power. This took significant time to install and had large upfront costs, and businesses were responsible for their own maintenance, upgrades, and repair. Once the power grid was developed, businesses gradually decided that plugging into the grid to access electricity was a much better choice, as they could use it when needed. This also avoided the upfront investment, provided access to high efficiencies, and avoided the ongoing maintenance and repair. In modern times, companies now build their own data centers. Again, this required upfront capital, requires people running to buy more servers when needed, and it was difficult to maintain and scale self-managed servers up and down as required. All of this changed with cloud computing. Companies are now able to host their workloads on the infrastructure built and maintained by a third-party cloud provider, allowing them to pay for only what they use and when they use it. Similar to the modern power grid, these large cloud providers can provide the grid and operate it much more efficiently than smaller organizations can. So even though large providers can operate more efficiently, is cloud still cheaper than buying your own servers? The answer is yes, it's much cheaper, but only if you fit your IT capacity to what you need. The image on screen here shows traditional IT capacity provisioned well above what is usually required on most days. This is done so that the IT capacity can meet the needs of peak periods such as online sales events, or internal needs and peaks such as batch computing workloads. Cloud is different. On cloud, you can fit your IT capacity and your cost to exactly what you need at that point in time. One example that illustrates the impact of cloud cost savings is a case of 2 very similar companies. These 2 companies were from similar industries in the technology education space and were of similar size. The 2 numbers on screen here are the cloud spends of these companies. One was $27,000 USD per year, and the other was $2.7 million. This is a 100 times difference. But both companies received about the same business benefit from this cloud cost. The point of this example is to share that if you stay on top of your cloud cost matters, the impact can be drastic. Beyond direct cost savings, cloud also delivers business outcomes at reduced IT effort. For example, estimating customer demand to determine resource sizes can now shift from weeks or months before cloud to nearly non-existent after the cloud. This is because cloud resource sizes can be adjusted after seeing what customer demand actually exists. Database version updates? Now that's much quicker by bringing in managed services that reduce backup, rollback planning, testing time, and so forth down from a typical 8 hours to perhaps 1 hour for an experienced engineer. Setting up new infrastructure and servers? Before, it would take weeks to request and procure and finally install the new hardware. Now it can be done in a matter of mere minutes. And if you're recovering from any failed infrastructure, which can happen, again, much quicker on the cloud. Cloud, in fact, saves so much time that some people are able to create businesses completely run by just one person. One example is Pintura, an image editing integration tool which allows other businesses to programmatically manage image quality, size, filtering, and much more. Today, this business makes about 200,000 USD per annum, and this would not be possible without the cloud and also the internet. Beyond cost savings and also time savings, cloud also provides better resilience or uptime, agility, and security, all at lower cost. Resilience and agility are probably expected benefits of cloud, but you may be wondering how security is cheaper on the cloud. Well, security is cheaper because cloud providers are able to give you the confidence that your whole organization is adhering to certain security and governance controls. This can be done with just a few clicks via a very cost-effective service on the cloud. One customer, after turning on some whole-of-organization security monitoring, that cost only about $100 per month, found that some machines were doing crypto mining. These machines were promptly shut off, of course. This type of monitoring across the whole organization would be much more costly to do if running your own servers. So hopefully you are now convinced that cloud can save you a lot of money. Now it's important to also know how to save this money and avoid needing to engage cloud billing experts like myself. For the purposes of this talk, I'll compress the advice into 3 points that I've seen work with other customers. 1, you need to be able to see your cloud spend day to day, or at least get some warnings if cloud spend increases beyond what you expect. Although it is very tempting to treat your cloud bill just like a mobile phone bill, something you look at the end of the month after spend happens, cloud spend tends to be much bigger, and it can change drastically following manual or automated actions. Second, there's also plenty of information online. You can do your own research about the topic of cloud costs, and here's a video I recorded in the past, and it can be accessed at bit.ly/cloudcostvid2021. And finally, 3, you can take action yourself. So what do I mean by take action? Here we highlight this point. Firstly, all of the major cloud providers have commercial commitments and discounts available through their platform. AWS, for example, has savings plans and RIs, reservations. Azure has reservations as well. And Google Cloud, GCP, has committed use discounts. All of these types of discounts save approximately 20 to 50% off of server costs. Next, you can also turn off your resources outside of working hours. This applies to non-production resources that don't face the customer but are for internal testing. And turning resources off outside of work hours saves about 50 to 70% of the costs. Just like when you go to sleep at night, when developers go off work, it's good to turn off the lights and turn off the servers as well. 3, quite often users treat cloud just like on-premises IT and over-provision just in case. However, on the cloud, the better way to use it is to scale up and down as required, and this delivers about 30% saving. And finally, if you don't control your cloud spend directly and use a managed services provider, then you can ask them for some help. So one thing that everyone hates is going over budget. Let's talk about how not to go over budget with cloud. So here are my 3 tips to stay within budget on cloud. Firstly, you want to estimate costs appropriately and make sure that you've included everything. So this not only includes the cost for the servers itself, but also making sure you include costs related to development and testing servers. Make sure you account for data transfer. Include any additional services for multi-zone backups. And finally, if you're using storage, having the different types of storage priced will be important too. To avoid any underpricing, have an expert walk through the cloud pricing with you to check that everything you need is included. 2, on cloud, it's quite difficult to perfectly estimate the costs, especially when it comes to migrations. The best practice is to try to do your estimate the best you can, and then after resources start running, adjust the budget and account for what's changed on the environment and then bake that in as the final budget. If you think it's too expensive when it's running, then perhaps it's opportunity to do some cost optimization, which will reduce run costs. 3rd, you can continue to monitor the spend. Like myself, you may not have the time to check the Cloud Console every day or even try to set up a solution that sends the spend information to you. So instead, you may consider setting up a cloud budget that will warn you if spend exceeds what you expect. This way of working is very different to managing traditional IT spend, where you pre-agree the spend, buy and install the servers, and then you don't think about it until it's time to refresh the hardware. Now you can take action anytime, any day, and it can have a significant impact on total costs in a reactive way that just wasn't possible before. When it comes to pricing, there are many tools available on the market. With each major cloud provider, they have their own tools that help with pricing. And there are also third-party tools available that specialize in the cloud pricing space. Now, if you're wondering which cloud is cheaper, honestly, even though that many of these cloud vendors claim that theirs is cheaper, overall, judging by third-party analysis and independent vendors, they estimate that the different cloud providers are about the same cost. However, there are some exceptions for specific types of licensed workloads, but overall, price depends far more on how you use the cloud rather than which cloud you pick. Thank you for your attention today. I hope this has been insightful and you now feel better informed about running your business on the cloud. I'll now pass over to Leroy to cover why Singtel Cloud.
Thanks, Peter. With the potential cost savings of moving to cloud, the next step will be to plan how to adopt cloud. Given the complexity of cloud, this task can look very daunting. In Synctel, we are here to help. Synctel offers a complete range of cloud-enabled digital transformation solutions that include network connectivity, cloud, and security. Synctel believes in enabling you to focus on what drives business value. Synctel provides end-to-end services from advisory to managed services, giving you a peace of mind to drive innovation while Synctel ensures that your cloud environment is up and running. Synctel is the trusted cloud advisor for many SMBs and large enterprises alike, spanning across different industries such as retail, financial services, and healthcare. To help kickstart your cloud adoption, Synctel has come up with standardized packages for your cloud needs. Our migration package offers an inclusive package for SMBs with up to 5 VMs to move to the cloud seamlessly with minimal downtime. These include infrastructure assessment and an estimated cost of how much your cloud subscription will cost. For managed services, we have 3 tiers: Bronze, Silver, and Gold, to cater to different service level requirements of your organizations. Our managed services come with service level agreements, which gives you a peace of mind in ensuring that your cloud environment is being monitored and being compliant. To find out more about our packages, please do not hesitate to approach your respective Synctel account managers for assistance. Thank you for joining us today. As mentioned, you will receive a copy of the presentation via email. In addition, we will be sharing a cloud cost tooling map that will help you quickly understand what tools exist to manage your costs. We will also be sharing a link to further dive on this topic, which is conducted by Peter. Again, my name is Leroy. Stay safe and see you soon.
Thank you, Leroy and Peter, for your insightful sharing. Moving to the cloud is simple and fuss-free with Singtel's team of experts. To get a free consultation and quote on our services, scan the QR code or head to the URL below. Do stay tuned as well for our Q&A session later. And now, it's time to learn about the latest government support for SMBs in Singapore. Over to you, Workforce Singapore.